Live. Give me a second. Like I said a little earlier,
What up, folks?
go on and share the live.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Good
I
morning.
would share it, but my computer is currently at 30%. So
Is it gonna kick
we
y'all?
don't. Well, my computer? No. My computer is just there.
I
I,
was gonna
was-
say
I hope it don't kick me off.
Red
that ain't good.
leather, yellow leather,
Hello, hello.
brown
I'm not
leather.
sure who's on. Hey, hey.
Why is you
What up,
saying that?
y'all?
Wow. Now brown cow.
Wow, now brown cow.
Y'all goofy, man.
That's
That's
what I'm
facts.
saying. I'm trying. What
That's
you
us.
doing, Kyle?
That's us. I am warming up. Warming up.
Oh,
I am warming up. The body is in the back. Yes. Good.
We're about to start, y'all. And whoever's on, you guys can say, hey, what's up? So we can know kind of who's on. Instead of hiding behind the screen, we want to see y'all icon. That's so
Yeah.
we are going to go ahead and get started. For those who have not been on before, our guest links, Instagram links are in the caption. If you love what they're saying, you feel them, you dig them, go follow them. It is in the caption. If you want to follow them individually, you'll have to message the link that's in there because I have their business page in the so caption. We live. Give me a second. Like I said,
Oh, my bad, y'all.
who did that?
mm.
But now,
Who did?
Not prepared.
so yeah, share the live, guys. Share the live. Tag some people in. I'm pretty sure. I'm hoping you guys saw the caption before you clicked in. So we're gonna talk about how common good men are. So definitely tag some more men in. Tag some women in as well. I do want you guys to ask our guests any questions that you want to ask them. Please use them while they're here. That's what they're for. Um, a lot of times we have our preconceived definition of what a good man is, and a lot of times we're wrong. So I love that these three men came on to kind of give us some insight on this topic. So yeah, so y'all use them, use them, use them. Their names is on the screen, but I'm going to go ahead and take that off of there, and I'm just going to let them. Give me 1 second. I'm going to let them introduce themselves separately. Let me see. Okay, so I do have questions. I will put them on the screen, but I'm gonna take them right back off because it looks like it is covering one of my guests' face, and I don't want that. So, we're gonna go ahead and start with introductions. We're gonna go ahead and start with Tim.
How y'all doing? My name is Tim, 1/3 of the Platty Pack. Oh, you can't hear me? Oh man, hold on.
It's faint. It's real faint.
Yeah, we can barely though.
Can you hear me now?
A little
You
bit.
got like
Yeah, it's the same.
you got like an R&B whisper on my phone on my headphones.
To the R&B.
Banger
Yeah,
It was just loud. I don't know what happened, but it's really faint.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did, but
Hold on real quick.
you might have to
Go ahead, Kyle. You can go. You can go while I'm trying to fix it.
Yeah, go ahead. Like we
All
just
right. So
come
let's
back to him.
while he working on his thing, getting that together. Let's go ahead, go to Cal.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. My name is Kyle, aka Schmitty. I just call me Schmitty for short. Um, 2/3 of the Platty Pack. Waiting for the one
Indeed.
third to get his stuff to right, but 2/3 of the Platty Pack. And hey, I'm just happy to be here, and let's get this going.
Facts.
Fact. And not to sound, rude or anything, but you said Smitty for short. I think Kyle is shorter, but
Well,
we
yeah,
gonna let you
compared
do your thing, do your introduction. So
compared to my full name, everybody
okay.
just calls me Schmitty. But hey, whatever
Okay.
you like to call me, just don't call me late.
There you go.
All right, let's go on to UP.
Well, I mean, if you follow, my girl Brandy, you done seen me on the podcast a few times. Of course, P. I go by P89, P, Muhammad, whatever you want to call me. Like he said, just don't call me broke. Um, I'm CEO of Night Form Music. The third of the Platty Pack. Shout to my brothers. We just trying to make some moves and make some noise in this game here called this podcast crap. But not to call it crap, but you know what I you know what it is.
All right, well, let's see if we got this together. Tim, you good to go?
No, I'm playing. Can y'all hear me?
There we go. Hey.
I'm like, oh my
There you
God.
go. There's the 1/3.
No, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm Tim, aka Timmy the Vet. 1/3 of the Platty Pack. I make music in my free time, so you can check some of that out when you go on my page. Got together with my homies to just talk about content. We ended up just talking about issues that need to be discussed. So that's what we're here to do today. So
Right.
hopefully you respect our opinion on these things.
Bing bong.
So, okay, guys. So the ones who missed the introduction, I do have their business Instagram in the caption, so you guys can go follow them on Instagram. If you want to follow them individually, just DM that page, and they'll give you their separate, Instagram pages. Like Tim said, y'all already know, the ones that's been following me, you already know. We get into really hard topics. Sometimes when I'm in person with people, I always tell them, if you're triggered, walk out. It's no need to get disrespectful. These are actually conversations we really need to have. And it's okay to, disagree with somebody. How we disagree is what matters. The whole thing is about getting an understanding of what other people are thinking. Whether they're right or wrong, that's not what we're here to prove. We're just trying to get other people's perspective. And, take the meat out of it, throw the bone away, use what you need, disregard the rest. So, it is 3 extra guests on here. I have never had that many like that at a time. So kind of work with us on who's going to answer a question, to the guest that's watching. If you want a specific person to answer a question, I know I don't have their names on, but I'll try to pop it on here and there. But just type in the chat, hey, I want to ask Tim, A, B, and C, ask Cal, ask P. Whoever you want to direct it to, if you want to direct it as a group, just type it in, comment. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to like and tag some people in. All right, that was long, but let's get started. Okay, so guys, what made you choose this topic?
That's on you, Tim.
Yeah. I felt like this topic needed to be talked about because everybody said, a lot of women say there's no more good men, and then they claim to be good women. But are there really no more good men or what are their criteria on a good man? Because I feel like there's always outliers to what they're saying, or there's underlying reasons why they say what they say, and they don't look at the whole picture.
I like that explanation. That pretty much sums it up to me. And I think I just want to put a little bit of emphasis on what are their criteria, because that's huge when you're talking about how common a good man is. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay. What is your definition of a good man?
Yeah.
And I think that if we dig deep into that, you'll see how common good men actually are.
Yeah, and I have a question for that, so we definitely about to dive into that. I like the fact that he said, and I know I'm gonna say it wrong. I'm the paraphraser, so excuse me, but you mentioned that women think they are good women, and so then they're always saying, there ain't no good man, but they think they are good women. So I love that, because I do agree with that. It's like we can say we are good women, or we spot a good woman, but then we always feel like there are no good men out there. And it's like, well, I mean, what makes you think you're a good woman? You know what I mean? So
right.
I like that. So Cal, what made you agree to the topic? Or was you just like, I ain't finna fight this, let's go?
To be honest, it was a majority kind of vote. But you know what? This is something that I do agree. This is something that we do need to discuss. Just because, I may be married doesn't mean, doesn't exclude me from being a good man or not. There's still, there's still people who are in, positions where a good man is supposed to be, and they do not deserve that. They don't deserve that label. They don't deserve that, to be in that situation, because, they might have, caused, drag that name to the mud.
All right, moving on to the next question. Any of you guys can tackle it, of course. So, describe characteristics of what a good man may look like, and that's not talking about physical looks.
Mm. Mm. Well, yeah, I want to take that
I
one.
feel like I feel like I feel like a good man has his character and stands in his character. They're comfortable with themselves. They're comfortable within their own skin. Um, and for me, I like to keep things simple. For me, it's treat someone how you want to be treated. That's just how I go on things. Sometimes I might get trampled over. Sometimes I may be the one to do it. But as long as I acknowledge it, I know my intent is in the right place.
Mm.
If I'm doing everything in my power to not only help my life, but whoever is around me in my circle to help at least benefit them in some kind of way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one of the things that I find, or at least to me, that stands out.
I just want to jump in and say, that you know, minus there's a few people in my life, the men that I've met in my life, and Kyle is in that group of men that I look at and I'm like, that's a good dude right there. That's a good man right there. You know what I'm saying? Kyle is I salute him for, what I'm saying, walking the path that he walks, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a good man in his skin. I think when you talk about characteristics of good men, I think the first thing that you need to look at is whether or not they're a man at all. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of
Definitely.
brothers out here who ain't even men. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? They just running around here with their chest poked out like they think they men. But at the
Yep.
end of the day, they're not really men. So the first thing you need to look at, I think, is are they a man at all?
Yeah,
And then once you determine that that's the case, then you can start adding your own little. Because I really believe when it comes to being a good man, it's all determines on a woman that decides to, associate themselves with that man and take their life journey with him.
I do agree with that part. It's one of those things, and Tim, I'm gonna let you tackle it next, but it's one of those things where um, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know what
Mm,
I mean? So it's like, we talk about good men, but somebody can literally be a good man. But if that woman don't consider you that, she ain't gonna see nothing in you that's, good. So
that
ain't
part.
nobody trying to prove to her that you are a good man. So before Tim answer, guys, if you want to type in the chat some characteristics you think that a good man have, go ahead, type that in. And then after Tim give his description on his characteristics of a good man, then April, I'll get to your question.
Okay. A good man to me is almost synonymous with a good leader because a good leader will listen, they'll be understanding, and they'll also show you how to do it. And then after you know how to do it, they'll go do something else to like take off some of the stress or provide, which is what you do. Like if you're in a relationship, you do that with your kids, your wife. You come home, you listen to their problems. Like you are all day working, providing for them, and then you have to teach your kids to become good people as well. So
Mhm.
it's almost I want to compare it to the army. Like when we all have when all the soldiers have to go do something, you'll see the good leaders. They'll come out and help because they've been in those shoes before.
Oh yeah.
So they want you to know you can do this because I'm doing this. And then they let you continue to do what you do, and then they go on to do something else to help you out in the long run.
I
So
love
a
that.
good man is selfless, but also selfish in a way like they know they have to be their best to provide for everybody else.
Right.
That's that
Yeah.
balance. Like if he, I wouldn't say he's not a good man if he don't know how to balance that out, but I do believe good men definitely know how to balance being selfish and selfless. So
Mhm.
so let me get to April. So we actually got two people comment. So let me get to the first one. Any of you guys can take this. She said, "Do
Okay.
you think a good person is different than being a good man?"
I mean, no. I mean, no disrespect, but no, because a man is a person. So you either a good person or a bad person. When you talking about, I guess, I guess she wants like when you talking about a good person. Yeah, you can be a good person, but be a bad man in a relationship.
Yeah. I think that's probably what
Okay.
she did. Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to like if we're just talking about just strictly across the board, just a good person in general, then there's no difference really. It's good person, good man, you know. Yeah, but you can be a horrible husband. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
you know, but that's just the way it is. Some people roll that dice and get those.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment because like you might not know how to navigate a relationship, but if you're providing everything, you feel like you're doing what it takes to be a good man. And you might not have the communication aspect down. So
right.
you could be, I'm not gonna say you're a bad man, but you might be bad at certain aspects of being a man, like as far as like a relationship. But if you're not in a relationship, you're a good man to everybody you're around, which means you're a
That
good
part.
person. But
Yeah.
I guess it just depends on the circumstance.
Facts.
Yeah, thanks. I have to say, based on at least based on my aspect, and I'm currently married. My intent is always good.
Shout out to LV.
Shout out to LV. She tuned in. Shout out to my pops tuned in there as well.
Yeah.
But my intent is always there. It may not end up. The end result may not always end the best way, or it may not come out the best way. But I feel like if your intent is always there and it's always, good thing. I mean, you're always in. I'm looking for the word. Well, anyways, if your intent is there and it's true, I mean, I feel like that's really what it comes down to.
Your morals, basically.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those things I've heard.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to play devil's advocate to that because what Kyle is saying is spot on. But what if somebody says, I know you have good intentions, but what do you have to show for it? Like, because there's a saying, the smallest deed done is worth more than the biggest intention. So how would you go about that?
Oh, you mean the worst intentions, or because I feel like if the intentions are good, then it doesn't matter the deed itself as long as I believe that as long as the intention is correct. You know what I'm saying? Like you intending to do good across the board. Now, of course, with anything, whenever you're dealing with good, there's always going to be bad. You can't have good without bad. So there's always going to be bad. But as long as you can minimize the amount of bad, I feel like it's just
definitely
you Gucci.
I think the goal here is not even just with men, just humans overall. The goal is, okay, the intent is good, but I may have the intent, but I may not know how to get there all the time.
Right.
It seems like those things, those memes where it's like, I think it say like, it sucks to know that a man loves you, but don't know how to love you. So I feel like it's one of those things. It's like, I know what I want. I'm here to literally be a good man to you. Yeah. But in the process of growing up, I didn't have men to show me how to be a good man, or my father, uncle. I didn't have that. So I'm learning the way.
Right.
Means, it doesn't make me not a good man if I mess up, but it just means my intent is good, but the physical just haven't reached up to that level yet.
So this is something I had a question about, and I kind of wanted to ask is, are good men born or are good men created through circumstance?
I think it's the latter. I think I will say this. I will say that a more pure.
Hold on. So y'all that's on, I want y'all to answer Kyle's question. Just type whatever, yes, no, whatever. But he said, is a good man born or is a good man created?
I think the best, when you're looking at it, and I hate to compare the two because at the end of the day, a good man is a good man. But I think the more pure a good man comes from being bad. Because you understand what it means and what can happen and how much you can damage. So you're cognizant of that, I guess you can say, and it makes you a little bit more pure in your goodness. And that's only if you really are trying to be a good man, because there are dudes out here who just faking the funk. You know what I'm saying?
well, what I was thinking was in the whole context of being a good man. I mean, just having a good label. You're gonna have your ups and downs because let's be honest, life is a roller coaster. You're not always gonna be at your best. You're not always gonna be at your worst. You're gonna F up. You're gonna do some dirt.
Right.
You're gonna, be the one who is the dirty rug. But through that, you learn different. Different lessons, different experiences, and you gain knowledge from those things. I learned, from from my past, I've done dirt, and I was like, wow. Looking back on it now, that was stupid of me. That was terrible of me. I got to make sure I can't do that, or if I'm in a situation, how to maneuver differently so I can have a better outcome for both of us.
Yeah.
And even my high points. What can I take from that? What can I learn from that? How can I keep this feeling? How can I keep this feeling? Continue this. How can I continue this? How can I grow from this? How can I make this better? Upgrade this and make that. I feel like going through a lot of trials and tribulations and going through that process of, getting dumped by females, getting, played or, being, somebody's toy or something like that. Learning from that too. Learning from that, I don't want to be treated like that. I don't want to do somebody like that as well. So just these experiences, I feel like kind of added on to making somebody a good man or a good person in general.
So we got somebody said both. We got someone said they are created. Another person said, he said that knowledge is what makes you a good man. I do have a longer comment. I want to go ahead and read that in a minute. Guys, share the live. Make sure you tag some people in. Get your questions and comments in. These guys have really good discussions on their platform alone on Instagram. Their link is in the caption, so please make sure y'all go follow them. They
Come holler at us. We got some good knowledge for y'all, man.
Yeah, they really got a lot of knowledge and wisdom, y'all. Go follow them at your leisure.
And maybe you can be a platter too.
Y'all ignore him. But
come on aboard.
So Vernez
the Platty train.
That part.
So Vernez said, no matter how good a person's intentions are, we have to deal with their reality.
Okay. That's facts. That's fair.
It's definitely fair. Going down to Cozy. Now this one is long, so it's not going to show all the way on the screen. But he said, no man is born good. Man is born man. You can be born into a family of good men. That's it. We receive moral guidance, structural guidance, and we grow through examples of positive reinforcement when we go down the negative path. The outcome of all of this breeds a good man.
I agree.
I somewhat agree, but I somewhat disagree because you don't need good men around you to become a good man, because it depends on the circumstances. Like, let's say you're in an environment you don't want to be in, just like how people are like born into poverty and they become millionaires. They didn't let the circumstances around them dictate who they were. Yeah. So it's all about personal choices. It's like, who are you when nobody's looking?
Facts.
That's really what it comes down to. Like, yeah, like your experiences do shape that, but you get to choose. You have the free will to say, if I'm around all good, I can be good or I can be bad. Right. So it's really up to you because you have the choice at the end of the day.
Yeah. Right. So I think from what the comments said and what you guys are saying, I think it's safe to say that good men are definitely created along the way.
Right.
They just come automatically knowing how to be a good man. Right. And that's, ladies, that's where the grace comes in that. Now, I
want to interject real quick is just say that, I don't think it's so much that Muggs that you don't know how. It's just if you know right from wrong, basically the path to take to be a good person, a good man, a good person. You know what I'm saying?
And that's true. If you know right from wrong, the thing is, I think, and I'm gonna go to Masi's comment because I was actually gonna say this earlier, but then I was gonna move on. But since she said it, I'm gonna go back to it. You definitely could know right from wrong, but I think the circumstance matters on which way you're going to choose. What are you strong at that moment? What season are you in your life? Are you able to choose right from wrong, or are you in a weak-minded state for whatever reason? And you what, forget it. I'm just going to go on this wrong path. Whatever happens, it's going to happen. So I do think it's
multiple factors. I feel like, it is multiple factors. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your character. I feel like, and where you rest your morals at. Whether I know, hey, I've seen wrong, so I know what wrong looks like. So all I can do is, something different, which is right.
Right.
I've seen what a right looks like so much. All I can do is wrong. It's I feel like there's a thin line with that, and there's also a big kind of gray area, if that makes any kind of sense with that.
It's definitely a gray area. I think is a gray area with that. But I think it depends on your character, like you said, because just because you make mistakes does not mean you're not a good man. And I think that's where women confuse that a lot. It's like, well, a good man wouldn't do A, B, and C. And I get it. But he's also a learning and a growing man. So you have to know how to learn who to give grace to and who just playing you, for a fool. So
and that's exactly what I was kind of alluding to is we go through experience, we may not know how to handle it at that time. We may go and after that we handle it poorly, we're labeled as we're labeled as a bad man, or we're labeled as he's damaged or whatever.
Right.
And we may make a right decision, doesn't mean, hey, we just because we made the right decision, people label us as a good man, doesn't mean that person is always a good person. It's just we made the right decision at that time.
Yeah. So let me go back up. I'm gonna go back up to Mossie's comment, because this is what I actually was going to allude to earlier. She said the experiences, everyone gets a different side of an individual. And so I wanted to go, I don't know who said it, but I think we were talking about a person being a good man and knowing how to be a good husband. I think that's what we were referring to a little earlier. And the thing is, I've heard plenty of people say, and this even with my ex-husband, it'll be like, how they treated you in a relationship, or what they did or didn't do that made them a good person. But then you got to deal with hearing all their friends and all these other people speak on how good they are. And you're like, what? If you only knew. But it goes back to what she said, like everybody gets a different side of a person.
Right. Well, I want to say, I don't think it's everybody gets a different side. It's just when you're dealing with somebody intimately, it's a little bit more, you're in a more vulnerable state when you're with that person. So
That's true.
They're probably going to know a lot more about you than, say, the people outside of your intimate relationship. I'm almost willing to bet that the majority of people who have best friends, unless it's like that, you're not sleeping with them. You're not, you have a nightmare. I'm pretty sure that they're not gonna be the person that's gonna be waking up next to you. But in some cases, that is the case. But who knows? I don't know. That's why I always say, like, your best friend is the person that you're sleeping next to. If you decide that you want to get in a relationship, that person should be your best friend.
Yeah,
I agree, but at the same time, like, that's a different side of you. Like a best friend sees a different side of you than your sister sees, or than your brother sees, or than your partner sees. So those are like, because you have a different relationship with all them. And I want to ask a question, but I'm gonna let Kyle go first before I ask my question.
Oh no, I really didn't have really anything to say. I was just kind of agreeing. I was just kind of playing off what you guys are saying, but I just really wanted to hear what you were going to say, Tim.
Okay, yeah, that's it, because like how you said, like, just like people around you are saying this is a good person, but then when they get in a relationship with you, like, it's a different dynamic. But maybe he's feeding off of the energy you're providing, so maybe he just like, he wants to be good, but he just doesn't feel it coming back, which leads me to my question. What is the real motive for a relationship on both sides? Because I feel like that plays a big part. And then I have another question to that. But what do you think, like, the motive should be for each person in a relationship?
And guys, please, that's watching, go ahead. Any questions that's being asked, you can go ahead and comment to them. Like I said, I'm focusing on them, but I'm also trying to read the comments as well. So I'll try to tend to you guys as well. But if you can have an answer, go ahead and answer his question too.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll take a stab at it. When it comes to motives, I mean, I personally, I don't want to speak on for everybody else, but for me personally, I feel like when I'm dating and ultimately getting into a relationship, my motive is to eventually marry that person. I think that's what the goal should be of any relationship. But my idea of a marriage may not be the same as that person's, and I think that's where the disconnect comes a lot of times with relationships. But I think that as long as, like, with me, as long as your motives is to eventually get married and have a great partnership and build an empire, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But if that's not the type of time you want, no, you can always, I think that's to my motives anyway.
Yeah. Okay. I want to dig a little deeper with the question because, like, I mean, like, what are you seeking? Like, what are you seeking? Like, what would make the relationship work? Like, I know you're saying like marriage, but like, you could say you want to get married. You could go get married to somebody, and y'all could be at odds every day. So.
Right. Okay. I mean, I just wanted to say that I feel like I'm on a dating game show, and it's like, what are you seeking?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but
it's your bio. Explaining your bio, bro.
Yeah, I'm over here trying to, but I think, like I said, I'm seeking. And this is me personally. I can't speak for everybody because everybody should be seeking something different, and they're trying to find somebody that is seeking at least, if not the same, similar to what they're freaking trying to get. So me personally, I'm seeking a partner that I could, take on life with. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they want a partner that they can, live their life, or whatever. It all depends on the person. But I'm seeking a partner.
Tim, can you repeat that first question again?
Okay. What are the motives for each side in a relationship? Like, what should be the motives?
So one of our viewers asked. So
I'll say this for because this is I feel like everything we're asking, it kind of pertains to my wife and I. So shout out to the wifey.
Big shout out, LV.
Yeah. So
he getting brownie points.
Nah, he get brownie points every day because that's just Kyle, man. Kyle's a good dude, man.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely, like I said, I try. I definitely try. I definitely have my mess ups, but I feel like with us, we know what's on the table. We put everything out on the table. She knows, I'm trying to grow as a person, and I want her to grow as well. She wants me. And vice versa. But we just put it out there. We want the same goals. We want to get a place together. This is our first house. We just got a house together. Yes, thank you. But it's just something we're building. We're practicing eventually to, if we do have a family, we're practicing with our dogs right now. We're doing things to support each other. We want to uplift each other. We're trying to do things to make each other better. And whether I take it wrong or, I'm sensitive to it or not, it's something that needs to be said or that needs to be heard. And same thing with her, vice versa. Someone who can, it helps to have someone who can check you, but doesn't mean, hey, I still love you at the end of the day. I think at the end of the day, we just want each other to be better. We're a team, but we're competing with each other.
It's like a friendly competition.
Yeah, but we're making it to the top together. I'm pushing you to be better. You're pushing me to be better, so we can make this unit, and we can just go up from there.
110%.
What about you, Brandon?
So if I have to keep it kind of short and simple, I believe both parties should be trying to build an empire and a legacy together. However, I feel like I see more people getting in relationships to fill voids. And so that's why a lot of them aren't working like they should be working, because we getting in them with the wrong intentions. You know what I mean? Like, you come, you want to be happy. I want to be so happy. I want peace or whatever. But I'm trying to find it in the person I'm with versus finding within or, my own space. And so, now you come together, you can't build an empire together. You can't have like you said, a friendly competition. Because now, dang, you get more likes than I'm getting. Now you mad.
Yeah.
But it's because you came in with the wrong intention. You know,
Right.
whether that's oh man, we was messing around, end up having a kid. Well, might as well marry her, or you know, whatever. No, like the intention should be both of you guys should be focused on seeing the other person as a person that I can build a family, an empire, and a legacy with.
Yeah.
If none of
Bang.
those arrives or is in there, it's doomed from start.
Yes, a fact. Bing bong.
I got a question. I got another question. I'm sorry,
That's it.
but
And
you
Jonathan,
just
you
went
and please keep
perfectly.
your questions in too. You know, we didn't we
Oh, yeah.
have a personal session right now, but y'all
Yeah, no, because that like your comment led right into my next question. But
okay.
does the audience have anything to say, or they have any
They
questions?
haven't said nothing yet. They haven't
I
said
know
nothing yet.
Cozy.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Cozy had
Yeah,
a.
no, I just
He's trying to
want to make
repeat,
sure
or
everybody like
And
they
you know,
word it.
and
You know what I
look,
mean?
I just want to give a shout out to Cozy too. I don't know how many of you guys are on Facebook, but definitely link with him. When I say the wisdom and the mindset, I think you all four of you guys are really on that same path. It's just him trying to find more men that are like that. It's kind of hard because most men don't want to argue with women, so they don't speak out on a lot of things.
Right.
That if y'all can link with him, yeah.
I don't have no problem, having a conversation with a young lady. Sometimes
We know.
sometimes you gotta explain to them because there's a lot of women out there. No disrespect to y'all, but y'all freaking stupid, man. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. And that's no disrespect. It's just being real because there's a lot of women out there.
Stupid. I would say we just overly emotional at the wrong time.
Right, so they
I would say
stupid.
they're not receptive. That's what they're not receptive.
Nah, trust me when I tell you, man. There are women out there because I'm on socials a lot. I get in and jump into different people conversations just because I like to get a feel for people's mindsets. Just because in commenting and stuff, and there's some women out there who say some of the dumbest stuff. Like it's like, where did you even get that from? Like how did you formulate that thought in your brain? Like.
But the thing is, I feel like we can always go back to this, and I feel like it's going to come back to this a lot. Is social media. People fall into that social media trap. They think what a relationship looks like, what it should look like. You see those little, you even see those little ads. You're going by. I don't want to see ads in my little Instagram feed, but they do, and they have people hugging and dancing together, kissing. On a TikTok. That's BS.
This is into my
it's bullshit.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't mean no disrespect to the ladies out there. It's just that was just me. Yeah, I know it came out a little harsh. But
butter them words up, my brother.
Hey, I'm trying, man. I'm growing, man. I'm growing. I am growing.
Fried chicken. Hey, yeah. No.
Cool.
At least it ain't that, man.
Hey,
but listen. Just like now. That was an experience. That was a circumstance. It could have been handled better, but that doesn't mean the fact that he's not that he's a bad person.
Absolutely.
I feel like it came out the way it's supposed to come. It was supposed to come out. I apologize for the harshness of it. But that ain't. I'm not going to act like that's not what I was thinking when I was commenting on some of these comments. I was thinking in my mind like, yo, this is mad stupid. Like you gotta be stupid. Like this is crazy.
So I was just gonna say, Tim, before you go to your next question. So this is what I was gonna say to that. Yeah. And this is why I provide what I provide on my platform, because this is what I want people to get to the point of, especially in adulthood. People are allowed to say what they want to say without, always needing to give a disclaimer or always needing to be professional. They are who they are. Let them be who they are, and then just move accordingly with them. Don't always feel like you have to argue with somebody. Well, you should have said it this way and not that way. Okay, well, now I know not to have because he gonna call me stupid, and I can't. You know what I'm saying? So, it's not to, because me and him never called me stupid, but me and him, when we first got to follow each other, we had words back and forth. But I was drawn to him because even outside of the aggressiveness, I was able to see that he's really a good dude. He really has good intentions. His motives are pure. It's just the path of trying to get to being able to know how to say something without being directly hurtful with the
Just
word.
like I'm like a rose with them daggone big old thorns on it. Like, yeah, I look good, but I'm working on me. Like they picking my thorns off.
Hey, somebody said you got thorns off. Somebody said it's the cancel culture. You about to get canceled. You can't say stupid.
I apologize. Like I gotta apologize a bunch of times for them to like not cancel me.
No, this is light. This is light compared to what we say.
Word.
It's like though, but so before I go to my next question, like I say, guys, share the live. Still, if you guys can look past what was said, I'm telling you, their platform is really, really powerful. It's really got a lot of wisdom on there. Still, please go follow them. They are really good people to get insight from.
To be honest, if like that offended you, like me saying stupid, and like I said, I didn't mean it in a harsh way. If that offended you, I'm gonna be honest. If you're the type of person like you're gonna come on there and that's gonna be like your focus the entire time you on our page or whatever, you looking for reasons to be a grumpy grouch, I don't think you should come. Like you should just go ahead and stay away.
No grumpy grouches over here.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like we just want to have we just trying to put out good content and at least help some people along the way. I don't know what the heck going on with Tim right now.
But he got the link.
Brandy,
either way, get it together.
Brandy, this is going to end up either two ways. You're going to get the most views because of this, or you're going to get the least views because of this. So,
hey, I'm good. I you know what? I don't even go back and look at the stats and reviews, so I don't be caring. I probably should, but I don't.
We're gonna try to break some records today, hopefully.
Tim, we got you back on, but your screen is purple. I don't know what's going on. But I'm gonna go to my next question until you get your screen together.
Hey, there he is.
Oh, hey. Oh.
Gone again. I'm like the gingerbread man in this.
So let me go to the next one. So the next one said, do you feel there is a smaller percentage of do you feel there is a smaller percentage these days of good men?
No. I feel like good men are overlooked. That's what I feel. I feel like personally I grew up as, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back at all because I that's not me, but I grew up as the nice kid, the nice guy, and I've found myself getting played or on the wrong side of, or getting the short end of the straw a lot of times, and there's times I've retaliated and then I've had my pettiness, but the times where when I was single, I was trying to date, trying to get to know somebody, and they went back to what they know, which probably was not a good man, majority of the time, or in comparison to me at that moment. My wife, it worked out perfectly for us, but the past relationships or past, people I crossed paths with, they just went to what they knew. And at that time, it may have not been a good man. And I feel like just good men are overlooked. It's not that there's a small percentage. I just feel like people are overlooked.
I'm gonna have to agree with Kyle on that regard. I think every man, has the potential to be a good man. And, a lot of it depends on the partner that they get, like that will, bring the good man out of them, or at least bring more of the good man out. Because you have, like the young lady alluded to earlier, you have good people out here in this world. It doesn't necessarily mean that person will be a good man for a woman or in certain cases another man. But that doesn't necessarily mean that person will be a good man in that situation, because unfortunately, when two people get together, you got two different energies, and if those energies don't mesh well together, it could create a horrible environment. And then the next thing you know, you got people saying, "Oh my goodness, this person is this person is that." You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's not necessarily the case. So I don't know what the heck is going on with the cameras, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on.
Just keep talking. Just keep talking.
Yeah, musical chairs out this.
Yeah, I do agree with one thing too, and I think I said this in the past. I feel like in order to have good relationship, I feel like the person you're matched up with, your energy has to match. My energy has to match your energy. I feel like, and I feel like that's always a good starting point.
Tim, can
I
you
was
move
reading the
your
comment.
camera down a little bit?
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
but
Can you move your camera down?
we only see like the top of your head.
I
I
want
can
to
see
see
your
the full
mustache.
face, so we know who to like pounce at. You know, if you say the wrong thing.
Y'all can't see me? What's going on? I see my
either
whole
that,
body.
either that, or back up a little bit.
Yeah.
Bro, I see my whole body on my joint.
Oh,
Yeah, but on the live, it don't show up like that.
Oh, hold on. We good
you
now?
good now. You good. You good. Okay, so
How
Tim,
close
did you
am
want?
I?
Tim, did you want to answer that before I go to the comments section?
Okay, what was the question?
Do you think there's a smaller percentage of good men?
No. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of men who come from like single parent households, and the women, they raise that man to be like nice, like, oh, women like this, and women like women like when you hold the door for them and buy them flowers, when they really don't. But they tell them like the fairy tale fantasy that they wish they had, and then that man goes out and does that, and then he gets crushed. So he starts off as a good man, but he sees the reality's gonna hit him at some point. Maybe he might find that fairy tale, but it's few and far between that he does, especially now. And even with all that, like social media plays a big part of that, like Kyle was saying earlier. Because yeah, you see the image, but you don't know the backstory.
Yeah. So Cozy, I like your comment. I have a question for that next, so I'm gonna read your comment after this next question. But let me go to April. So April, guys, and any one of you guys can comment to this afterwards. She says sometimes the word good is misused. Like some people think good means boring. I see good guys all the time, but they lack in the area of choosing women and how to date.
Hey, yeah, I mean,
They're a victim to their eyes. That's
right.
That's what that is.
Right, but I mean, that's just human. That's
Like,
human
what you
nature,
see
though.
might not be good for you.
That's just human nature, though. That goes for men and women. You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, at the end of the day, yes, sometimes a man will pick the worst of the worst, but that ain't no different from a woman picking the worst of the worst and then ended up, you know,
Yeah.
hating men forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, all
Yeah.
men ain't, and it's like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's true, but you know, we talk about men on this panel right now.
Right. So it's like, yeah, it's just the same situation. I think it goes a little bit differently with men. I think men, when it comes to those situations, men can get over it a little bit quicker. But you know, kudos to women. You know, there are women. The majority of women, you know, when presented with the right type of man for them, they usually figure some stuff out. It may take that relationship for them to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like they had to sacrifice that relationship for them to realize, hey, this is the type of person that I need to be to get the right dude. But you know, there are some women who fix themselves, but then, you know, that in itself can also be a definition of a good man as well. Like how much do you pour into the person that you're with? You know, so
Okay. So what you just said, P,
yes.
when you said like they fix themselves for that dude. So
no, I said they fix themselves because of it. Sometimes the relationship gets sacrificed
so
because
for finding
the
like
energies
because of what that dude, they fix themselves, is what
right.
you're saying. But there are a lot of women who front like they're somebody they're not when they come into that relationship. Like the dude could be good and he thinks he's getting a good woman, but the manipulation aspect comes in. Like, is she manipulating the situation instead of using genuine emotions at the beginning of the relationship so she looks good? Because I realize that growing up, women are more emotional. They're taught to be more emotional, and they know how to manipulate situations. Whereas, far as men, it's just like, go do that, and then they go like they just go do it. So when it comes to a relationship, men, like they always say, men are simple. They don't want much, but that's because men don't expect much.
That's
like we expect the bare minimum, but women, they think they have to be like, they have to cook, clean, and all this, like all the basic stupid ass like social media stuff that they say they want. Honestly, like in my opinion, yeah, cooking and cleaning, that sounds good. But as long as the house is good, I'm good. Like if the house is clean, you ain't gotta cook because I know how to cook. If I ain't got you, I'm not going to die of starvation because I don't know how to cook. You know.
I like that you said that because I was just I was on a phone conversation a few days ago with the guy, and he always picking my brain on different things, and I was telling him society has this thing twisted and messed up. We confuse what a woman human duty is with a wife duty. Because you cooking cleaning is not a wife duty. Sorry to say, it's not a wife duty, it's a human duty.
Yeah.
And that's why you have nowadays, you got men now, especially those who are good men, that's not settling as fast because they like, I don't need you to cook and clean. I know how to do that. What else do you bring? Right. And so, I feel like society has made us confuse that so much to the point where, like you said, women do, and sometimes it might not be on purpose. It's just subconsciously, I'm going to come in and manipulate a dude to get him to choose me by cooking, cleaning, catering to him, blah, blah, blah. But then when he don't choose me or, he's not posting me or wanting to be exclusive, now I'm mad. Now I'm pissed off. Now I'm like, oh, well, I did A, B, and C. All you did was bring a normal human duty into this. Like, that ain't a wifely duty. So we got to stop teaching people that that's a wifely duty. It's not. It's a human duty. It's a duty that men do just being single.
That's something you do to survive. And that's just something you do to survive. And that's just for personal hygiene in general. If you shouldn't want to be a dirty person, but it is what it is. You either clean or you don't. You either eat or you don't.
Right. I think that when it comes to marriage, I think there's a misconception of what marriage is and what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And a big reason for that is because as we evolve as a society, some of the traditions that we hold dear to don't evolve with us. So it's like, people don't realize like a marriage in itself is nothing more than a partnership. It's me agreeing to partner with you for the rest of our lives, and take on this thing called life. What we accomplish together is us together as partners. So I think that when we say wifely duties or husbandly duties, that really all determines or is all determined on, based off of what you and your significant other decide. I'm the best cook in our relationship. If I'm with somebody and I'm the best cook, either if I want her to be the one to cook, I'm either going to show her how to cook so that she can start cooking, or I got to take that role.
Yeah.
And
that's why I said,
when are you going to do that?
Say that again.
When are you going to do that?
You should do that during the dating phase, in the relationship phase.
I'm glad you said that because April and Tim, it's going to follow along into what you most likely is going to say. So April said, how do you know someone is good in the beginning? Aren't they strangers?
Well, you got to
everybody's a stranger, but they show you who they are over time.
Right. You just have to have it.
You just got to duck it out.
There you go. You got to navigate that yourself.
So I'm a reference one thing. This kind of going back also to one of our episodes of when you're getting to know a person, whether now you go into a little deeper, but whether it's having sex with the person, while getting to know the person and dating or whatever, or you just holding off from that and actually just keeping it as I'm getting to know you phase and everything first. That's that's your trying out phase. That's your interview, and depending on how deep you want it or how much you want to complicate things, then you'll get to really see, eventually you'll get to see something, a red flag or something that stands out that you like.
That's facts.
Yeah. And with that, I agree, but I feel like how you said, like you shouldn't hold back anything. Like, even if I don't think you should hold back intimacy, but it should not be forced. Like sexual intimacy, none of that shit should be forced because you're working. My bad for the cuss words, but you're working towards something. And just like how they be like wifely duties, there's no such thing as wifely duties. If we have the intentions to have a serious relationship, you need to be doing that from the day we decide we're going to have a serious relationship. Like I'm going to be doing my husbandly duties the day we decide to have a serious relationship, because you can't just flip on the switch once you get married and be like, nah, I'm going to do the wifely duties. No, you stuck in your ways now. Yeah. Just like I'm stuck in my ways. Like if I ain't take the trash out my whole life and you say, oh, we're married, you got to take the trash out. No, Like,
Yeah,
that's just
and
how it's gonna be.
That's
so
fact.
I
If you're
agree.
serious about like your intentions behind something, you have to start with that the day you decide you're serious about it.
That's
I
fact.
agree,
So I think
and
this
that's
will
what.
be a great panel. I might do this in person. I know you guys aren't here, so you won't be able to attend. But I really believe we need to speak separately on this whole wifey and husband duty type thing, because I do think
Yeah,
we got it twisted. Because one thing
yeah,
I noticed is men don't go around saying this. It's only women. So
Mm,
you know, like
well,
Tim said, y'all don't expect much. It's like just be
yeah,
who you are. Like
yeah,
why do men have to prove all the quote unquote husband duties, but women don't until after they get the
yeah,
ring?
yeah. Well,
Mm.
this is what I attest to with my wife and I. We, like I said, it pertains to my wife and I again. We kind of have different, like I said, with our characters. We have strong attributes and weak attributes, and I play into my strengths into our relationship, and she helps where I lack, and vice versa.
hmm
Where I let her do her, she does her thing in the relationship too. She plays to her strengths, and I help out where she lacks. So we have kind of roles. She's more financially savvy than I am, and
hmm
I do. But at the end of the day, we come together and we make decisions. But at the end of the day, I do trust her decisions. There's things where I can physically do things, and where she cannot, or I have abilities to do something that she may not.
Right.
And
And y'all,
and
y'all are the
and
example
so,
though. You get what I'm saying? Like y'all are
Facts,
the
bro.
example of when
yeah,
two people come together and they don't hold back. There's a synergy that's created, so
mhm,
everything works together.
Right.
Like
definitely, we
there's
definitely.
you can't just be like, oh, I'm all right. I'm gonna chill until we get married. Like I'm not gonna drive her anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let her
Yeah,
drive herself, even if she's tired. She don't work 12 hours. I'm still just gonna
yeah,
sit here, and then when we get married, I'm gonna start doing it. No, it
Because
yeah,
doesn't work like that. You have to
let's
give
be really
100% of yourself, just like they giving
yeah,
100% of themselves. If it
Mhm.
doesn't work, oh well, you tried.
right, and
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Let's be realistic. We expect men to do all of those things to prove he's a good man.
Right.
But
hmm
then we'll tell women, oh, don't cook for him. That ain't your husband. Don't clean for him. That ain't your. This the big one. Don't be submissive. He ain't your husband.
Mm-hmm.
mm,
And people don't even.
Not.
I'm not going to get into that, but people don't even understand what submission is,
I just,
which is
just
why they
want
say
Oh,
that.
just want to drop a jewel
can I
real
touch on that
quick.
real quick?
Ooh,
Just
okay.
want I
Y'all
just,
want to touch it?
I just want to
I'm
drop a
letting them touch
jewel
it.
real quick. This is one of the reasons why I say that physical intimacy should be withheld
I agree.
hmm
I agree.
until you've determined, like, yes, this is a serious
I
relationship and I
agree.
do want to move forward with it. Because yeah, because I see somebody sexy and it's like physical attraction is the number one reason why people talk to each other. As
yeah,
far as like
hmm
that when
that's the
it comes
first
to
thing
that.
you see.
Exactly. So I think that should be withheld, because if you don't, what if things don't work out? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Now you just gave yourself to somebody that's like, and then this is where a lot of that friction comes from when things don't work out. If you've
Yeah,
been physically intimate, the woman is going to take that a little bit more harder than the man will.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
definitely.
But
Nah. Like
yeah,
I
We know
disagree
you
with you
don't
on this.
agree.
You
I
know
yeah,
I
know.
I
disagree
already,
with you
We're gonna let
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you. I
already,
know.
because
it's all good.
like
I already
I'm
know.
not saying when y'all first meet you jump down each other's throats and y'all just like just go crazy like that, because there's
Now
always
that
going to be a
happens
period of
though.
time where you get to know them, and
Yeah,
that's just what it is. But it's all about your intentions and the time you put in.
Yeah.
And with the submission thing, like I do know that gets misconstrued, but most men, like as far as submission, they just want peace and not necessarily agreement, but peace. Like if we do have a difference of opinion, let's talk about it. Like I'll respect it. I might not agree with you. I might just like discard what you say, but I'm gonna respect it. I'm not just gonna be like, I didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
respect your opinion. It'll be value, but it just doesn't apply to what I want to do. And like you don't have to combat everything. I don't have to control everything. If we find a dynamic that works, we both have to be understanding. But
mm,
at the end of the day, you have to know I'm the head of the household, as in the Bible, as in court systems. I am the head of the household as a man. So if something happens, I have to take care of y'all. You're not like if an intruder breaks in, who everybody looks at to defend the house.
Man,
That's like me saying, "Hey, baby, go get him." That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I want like
that
if you can
happens,
respect
though.
my position, I can like because off rip the men have to respect everything the woman brings because that's just the way the like society is.
Yeah.
I
Because,
just want that same respect in return in peace.
and that's why I say people get submission really, really confused, and then we trickle down like a wildfire. Like we don't go study what it is for ourselves. We just listen to somebody else and be like, oh, I'm not submitting to no man that ain't my husband. Submitting is yielding for the better good. That's not saying be a doormat, but
That part.
Mhm.
Can you say that again for the people in the back?
out.
It's the people in the back that ain't hear you. Can you say that again for them?
Yeah, but that's all because women move off emotion. They move off of their hurts. They move off of their unhealed places, and then we go create a story that does not exist. Baby girl, let's really, because if you really get down to it, both people are submitting. That's not just a woman's thing.
That's facts.
She submits just as well.
Yeah.
And it may be in a different format, but it's submission. And I like what Tim said. It's all about peace. If both of y'all can give each other peace, that's submitting to each other.
All right.
Willfully, you know. But
I think the lack of peace comes from when people have problems, and instead of bringing them to try to find solutions, they bring the problems just to create more problems.
yeah.
If that makes sense.
So guys, I do have a couple more questions, and we will be closing out. If you got anything for these gentlemen, please get them in the comment section now. Again, if you love what they've been talking about, their link is in the caption. Go follow them on Instagram. They some real stand-up guys.
Come plat with us.
Yeah, go play with them. but yeah, share, if you haven't shared it already, share the live. Please share the live. This is a quick intermission. I do have a Are You an Asset or a Liability event in January. It's for men and women. If you're one of the ones who don't really know what submission is, this will be a really great event for you guys to come to, because we're going to break down a lot of things as it relates to dating and relationships. And it's for single, divorced, engaged, married people that y'all got some couple, what they call them, power couples.
Power couples.
If y'all that, we need y'all in the building.
Hey.
Y'all in the building. Each one, teach one, whatever you call it. We need y'all. So going into the question before we close, guys, what might be some characteristics a good man requires a woman to have for him to commit to her? I'm gonna read it again because I know it's kind of long.
I'll let y'all go first.
So,
shit.
what might be
Go ahead,
some characteristics a good man requires a woman to have for him to commit?
But I think first the man has to. Oh, go ahead, Kyle.
No. Go.
I'm smiling a little bit.
Yeah, my
all right. So I think that first, it has to be determined that this man is a good man. You know what I'm saying? Because there are men out here who.
Let's just say, because we're talking about good men. Let's just say he.
Okay.
So what characteristics do he require a woman to have for him to commit to her?
Okay, I think that the main characteristic is she needs to be cooperative. Okay, because you're dealing with another person, so you have to be cooperative and patient. Okay, when dealing with someone else's energy and personality and characteristics as well, you have to learn and understand that person. So I think that's probably, in my opinion, the most important, is to be cooperative and patient. You know what I'm saying? And at that point, you could pretty much take on anything and good to go. After that, I don't know, because every man is different. So every woman needs to be different too. So
from what I see from my standpoint, patience, of course, that's always a big thing, because I still have to grow as a person. You have to be patient with me. Understanding, of course, and just willingness, just will. If things are going tough, if you guys are firmly based your relationship or on on a strong foundation, build off of that, like, hey, I got to keep pushing through. If you're going to keep pushing through, I got it too. I just feel like it's just a lot of those things where you just have to dig deep and you have to see it in yourself.
Okay.
That's what I see.
I agree. Really got to look at introspection, ladies and gentlemen. Introspection.
That's right.
So
Live it
far we
again.
got
So,
patience, cooperative. What you got, Tim?
Wow.
all right. So I watched this YouTuber named Dr. BOA. It's the book of Alpharonomy. And
Mm.
two things he says a woman needs, and I completely agree, is shut up in this and obedience. And I know that sounds wild, but when you go in depth, he's not telling you you can't talk. It's more or less saying, when I talk, you listen. You'll have an opportunity to talk, but I just need you to hear me when I do speak. And as far as obedience, that's not like being a slave. Because in a relationship, it goes back to expecting the man to lead. If I do say something like that makes sense. We're not talking about ridiculousness here. Like just so like the audience and everybody knows we got to be adults when I say obedience.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the head of the household and I ask you to do something, I expect for you to do it. You know, it's not like I'm treating you like a child. I'm giving you responsibility to help out in this partnership. And also, I feel like there has to be agreeability. That doesn't mean being a yes woman. That means not being combative. Like you can disagree, but don't jump out the window with the disagreement. Like there has to be a mutual respect. Because even in relationships, like 10, 15-year, 20-year relationships, love dies. And I'm a
No, it
strong
doesn't.
believer of that. But
I don't
respect
believe
doesn't.
that. I don't believe that. I have to disagree with you on that.
I hear you, but bro, you're not going to go in there with the same attraction you had day one to day
Right.
5,000.
I agree with that.
Because you both getting old and looks fade. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But respect doesn't if you have that respect. So as long as there's respect, the relationship can work.
But love shouldn't be based on looks. That's why I say looks don't. I mean, love never dies. It just changes. You change how you
looks
love
play
someone.
a big part, my brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Of course, yeah, I need to be physically attracted to you. But, you know, people get old, you know what I'm saying? And as long as I'm not only physically attracted to you, but I'm mentally and spiritually and emotionally attracted to you, love won't die.
But
yeah, of course, the love is
to
going to change, but it's supposed to because you grow as an individual and as a person, you're going to change. So, of course, your love is going to change. But as long as there's a deep
but if they don't meet
foundation
your criteria, it's not going to work off GP.
But you shouldn't be loving somebody that don't meet your criteria anyway.
Right.
But that's what I'm saying. But even with that, you can't be like if you see somebody, because you said like physical attractiveness can't be the only thing, but it's the first thing.
Right.
It's always the first thing. I don't see somebody be like, God damn, she looks like she's a scholar. Nah. That's not how life works. I see you, I'm attracted to you, I want to talk about it. Then that's when the vetting process starts, because you can look good, but if your mind, like if you can't stimulate my mind or you're not willing to cooperate with me, you can't even sit at the table.
Yeah.
Right.
Attraction is always first. That's men and women. Ain't no way around that. It's always first. But your mindset determines if I'm gonna stick around only for the attraction, quote unquote, sex part, or if I'm gonna stick around to actually build with you. So, but attraction is first. I definitely I agree with that. So,
and if you moving strictly off attraction, you really not trying to build a relationship.
Oh yeah. No. I like so I do like that, Tim. I was watching in cruise season. I was watching their YouTube, and a lot of them on there were saying, it was 4 guys, and they all were saying like how women get really disrespectful when they don't agree with something or they don't like something. So I agree with that, Tim, when you're saying like, I'm not saying be a yes woman or just do any and everything I say. But if we are going to disagree, if you don't want to do what I say, at least be respectful about it. Don't hit below the belt. And women are we in a boxing match all the time with everybody, even our men, and we shouldn't be. So let me get to some of these questions, and I just scrolled down. I actually did have one more question before we close out. And this one, it don't even require detail. It's basically like a yes or no. But let me go to some of the comments before I actually do that. So going up, Darrell says, so you mean disagree without disrespecting?
Yeah.
And then Bianca said it's called trust. I trust that you're going to lead properly so that I can follow.
I think that
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
most women don't
modern
even do
women,
that.
yeah, a
Right,
lot of
right.
modern women are not on that mindset because unfortunately we are producing a lot of men who don't necessarily know how to lead, and so they're being spoiled in a negative way into looking at men like these ninjas
We,
don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So they
yeah.
don't have that
It,
mindset of allowing a man to show her, I do know what
Mm-mm.
I'm doing.
it,
Take her back, sit over there in the the navigator seat and let me fly this
it,
plane. You know,
I feel like there's a lot of f boys in the world, a lot of effery, and
that's
and
facts.
because of that, that's what leads really women to kind of turn their turn the other eye and be like, hey, no, I'm on my independent. I don't need a man now, you know, and which also leads us to this topic: how common are good men?
Right.
You
Mm.
know, eventually that's what it's going to trickle down to, and just becomes more, it's just a vicious cycle, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's tracks.
We
I've been
That's
I've
facts.
been hurt, so I've been hurt. I'm gonna take it out on you. I'm gonna hurt you, and then you're gonna come around, and then you're gonna do it to the next person. So I'm gonna hurt the guy who hurt. I mean, the guy who hurt me. I'm gonna hurt this next guy, and then he's gonna hurt this next girl, and I'm gonna always be in question: is there a good man or is there a good woman?
yeah.
Right.
I don't even think it's that deep, bro. Because like I feel like we're in a fast food society where like you got like the hot girl summers and all this. They like just use the man for what, like for this, then the third, and then bounce. Like I have a situation like I used to be in where it's like I was trying to be there, and my methods are different. Like I operate like if we need something, I'm gonna go get it, no matter how I get it. You get what I'm saying, to provide.
Yeah.
And we got to a situation where it was like we needed a large amount of money, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go do it. But she didn't agree with like how I did it. Everything legally. Let me specify that. So she was like, she got upset about that. But I'm like, if it's getting done and you don't have to worry about it, why are you mad? Because I'm putting all the onus on me.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's something like women just don't agree with, they'll bounce before they see the outcome. Like the outcome is going to be the same, but they don't even stick around to see that because of like it's a fast food society. They want results now in their way.
Yeah.
If they can't get it their way, they gone.
That's facts.
Yeah, I agree. I feel
I
like a
think
lot of
both genders, we got a lot of healing to do. We got a lot of unlearning and relearning to do. And that's why I like
Mhm.
these conversations. Y'all platform, y'all don't always speak on relationships, but the things y'all speak on is still something that needs to be heard because it's a lot of healing in what y'all talking about. It's a lot of unlearning
Mhm.
and relearning. So I love these type of conversations.
I salute your platform because at the end of the day, us as men, I mean, there's only so much we can do to help women heal. Sometimes they have to get with their own, sisters and learn how to heal. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we at with ours at the Platty Pack. We just three brothers that we just
Yeah.
basically trying to see each other win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you want to come and
100.
jump in the man workshop with us, then by all means do that. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
as women, we can only give y'all what we have.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? As far as like y'all fixing yourselves, all we got is our man tools. And sometimes they don't fit your womanly, situation. So,
Yeah.
you're going to have to go holler at your
Yeah.
sisters and stuff.
So Bianca said, I'm loving the balance of this convo. Y'all are equally balanced and I love it.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you, Bianca. Appreciate you.
So last
And kind of
question.
real quick, I just wanted to piggyback off of that, like
Okay.
with these guys too, and with this platform just being on here is, even though we're hosting this, panel with you, I'm still learning a lot out of this. I get on our little platform, and I get on our platform and I vent to these guys sometimes. Sometimes I turn it into a venting session, and I'm getting a lot out of it just as much as whoever's viewing it is probably getting out of it. But in general, I think it's just life is just always going to be teaching us. We're always going to be we're always going to be learning something. We're always going to be a student of something or somebody.
That's facts.
And I feel like with this platform, it's just something that it just helps broadcast that and just helping us learn and grow from that, especially to be a good man or a good woman.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
like that.
I was just gonna say to those who don't know, the Platty Pack, this is Kyle's brainchild, man. We just here to help, we are like, all right, bet, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? Let's
Yeah,
get
help
let's
him
get it
achieve the
popping, man.
dream.
That part, you know what I'm saying?
Appreciate
It's
you.
Yeah,
all
I like
about building, man.
Kyle, I like what you said because I have different people inbox me or they'll tag me on a post or something. They'll be like, what you think, relationship expert? And I always tell them I don't like that term because I'm not an expert. I'm still a student in what I do. Like all my guests on my show, you guys always teach me. I'm still learning even through a lot of you guys. I just seem quote unquote like an expert because I decided to provide this as a platform and legalize it as a brand. But I'm not far from human trials and tests as well. I'm not far from falling myself. So I don't like the expert word, but I like being part of the empowerment community that brings the wisdom and knowledge that we've learned through our experiences. So that's why I'm a life coach. I'm not a relationship expert. So so last one before we go make it do what it do. Are good guys actually pushovers? Because we always hear this term, good guys finish last, right?
Yes.
Oh boy.
I don't necessarily like that term. I don't like that term.
What
term? Guys, the good guys finish last. Like, no.
100% accurate. What is
no,
you
it's
talking?
not.
That's 100%
no, it's
accurate.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I don't believe it. Kyle is a great guy, and he's winning right now. He's not winning. He's not fucking finishing last. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. He's not finishing last. Kyle is an awesome guy. What my opinion is, a good guys finish last until they get a spine. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Until
you
finish
realize
last, until they're not good guys no more.
So, and are
they become good men.
There you go. There you go.
So it's do they finish and are they pushovers?
Depends on I think it depends on the person. Yes, there are people but there are some horrible people who are pushovers.
And then they become serial killers.
Look, exactly. So how good were they really if they could bring themselves to do something like that?
But that's not a pushover. That's just somebody who's just like, well, yeah, that is a pushover. But I don't think like what I'm trying to say.
They got pushed over the edge.
Yeah. Like I don't think good guys are pushovers though. Because
right over there.
Why wouldn't you want somebody who's willing to do everything for you? They're not pushovers. They're just generous, and their generosity gets abused. Right. So it seems like they're pushovers, but they're not. They're just being their true, genuine self. And then when they see that gets abused and people take advantage, that's when you had these fuck boys and all this other shit who like, well, being nice got me ran through, so I'ma just go out here and go crazy. And you just got to deal with it now. Because I could have did all this for you, but the last girl messed it up for you. So boo-hoo.
You know what? To that, and I was finna close out, but it's a comment on here from Rosalind, and I really want you guys to just kind of hear that. But before I post her comment, so I did an in-person panel, with a select few men and women, and this is the crazy part about that. This guy actually said, because it's so many good men out here and women take advantage of that and like run them through the ground. He said, I will purposely get with them just to run them through the ground. And he said, and it's because I see how they dog good men out. And he be like, I just want to run you through because like you are purposely hurting like he don't, although he's doing the same, and I'm not saying what he's doing is good, but the fact that he said, I know, he said the fact that I noticed that women think they are the bomb or the one and all, and they really ain't got nothing going on, and they dragging men. He said, I drag them purposely, and it's a crazy cycle. But we got to think about that, like, so we dragging these good men because they are being naturally who they are. And you go for the dude that you think won't dog you, but this man looking at you like, oh, I saw what you did to old boy. Watch this. Watch this.
See, now these ninjas out here manufacturing their own karma. Like, what kind of crazy nonsense is that?
That's not manufacturing karma, bro.
No, exactly what that is.
You deserve everything that's coming to you.
And says who, though?
So you telling me you go out and do somebody wrong, you expect to get a reward?
I'm not saying get a reward. I'm saying that, if I go out and do somebody dirt, so I don't think that it's fair for somebody to be standing in the background like saying, yo, this person ain't crap. I'm gonna go do them dirt. Like, no,
But
that
you
ain't
don't know
your
that's
business,
happening.
first
You
of
just
all.
get did dirty. That's your karma.
What
But that's not their
is this,
business. You know what I'm saying? They don't.
is this
And my thing
person?
is like, how you manufacturing karma? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's your karma for what you're doing to me?
So it's not
I
their
think you're
Yeah,
taking it
business,
too
but it goes
literal.
to what Darrell just said. It's the circle of life. And you got to
yeah,
think, you have to be careful how you treat people, because
exactly.
just
Right.
like you're purposely treating this good man wrong, dogging
Yeah,
him out, somebody else waiting on their turn to give you your karma. It's not our business,
exactly.
but it's the circle of life. It happens.
Right.
Yeah,
But
And
my
that's
but
just
question,
like
my
I was
question to
that's
that
just like I
is,
was saying to that exactly. It's a vicious cycle. It's you got in order to have in
yeah,
order to determine what a good man is, you got to have a bad man. You got to have in order to have Batman, you got to have the Joker. In
Absolutely.
order to
right.
have Superman, you got to have Lex Luthor. You know, it's how it balances itself out.
Well, my thing is like you. So you're going out being a Lex Luthor because somebody did Superman wrong? Like, I don't
that's bro.
understand. Like,
That goes
So
back to
we're
the
not saying
beginning
it's
when
right.
we was
We're not
talking about
saying it's
this.
right. It
okay.
is
No,
reality. It
yeah,
happens.
I
Hmm.
honestly, I get it might be reality, but I think that's like I said, I think that's just basically manufacturing karma. And at some point, it's got to be like, why are you doing that? Like, what type of a person are you? Like this person, yeah, I go do somebody bad, and they're a good person, they're a genuinely good person. That karma is gonna come back to me whether you do something bad to me or not.
But
Because at
think
the end of
But
about
the
it.
day,
that's why I think
you
you're
don't
taking it too
just come
literal,
across
bro.
great.
this
Nah,
person's
I
a
get. Know
is
what
this
I'm
person
saying is
a sexual relationship vigilante or something?
that's what I'm saying. Like that's it's like he's out here standing up on the rooftops, lurking people's relationships. Like, yo, I don't like how you did, dude. I'm coming for you. Like, what the?
But you gotta
Who
think.
is this?
You gotta think when I said earlier in way earlier in the video, because we definitely over. You gotta think everybody's in a different season of their life. If
Right.
this guy
Thank
is
you.
in a season of maybe he was a good guy at one point that got done like that. And so now he's in his hurting season to where he don't care about no karma. He's
He's the
looking at
Batman of
another man.
relationship.
But it's
Yeah,
reality. It's crazy, but
yeah,
it's reality.
Right.
He's looking at you
yeah.
purposely hurt somebody else. He ain't care
Hmm.
about no karma. Right now he hurting. He whatever he is, he like, I bet. Watch, I get you. Watch
Right.
this.
But
But that
Right.
that karma's
And I
but
gonna
don't
that
come
even
that's
think
back
it's I
part
though.
don't
but
even
that's
think it's that
but
deep
that's
though.
part of the experiences. But that's the experiences that person has had. I've been hurt before, and I've been a fuck boy at one point in time. But doesn't mean that's who I am now. No,
Right.
I learned from that, and I've grown from that. It doesn't mean that's who I am. So there may
Yeah.
be a period of time where somebody's had their worst moments, or they weren't living their best life, or to them they were outside looking on the outside in. You know, you're on some
But
fuckery,
y'all,
but
I think y'all are thinking like in a different context. I feel like what
Yeah,
he's saying
yeah.
is like let's say he
yeah,
gets with a girl and then like they just chilling because he's who she wants. They just chilling. She gets like a phone call or a text or something. Like, oh, this lame dude, blah blah blah. This and the third. Oh, that's how you feel. All right, I'm not gonna express that, but you using him for whatever you need, like maybe to pay like a phone bill or something.
Yeah.
Right? You taking
Yeah.
advantage of this man, so I'm gonna
Mm.
take advantage of you. You want a relationship because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
everything you want,
Yep.
but you're
Yep.
not gonna get it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? It's
but
not like he's just watching everybody.
Yeah,
Like
no.
you could just
He
cue in on
said,
certain people
yeah,
in their habits.
right. I don't know. I personally I don't like that. I don't think
right.
that anybody should be a relationship vigilante. Like I'm saying, like,
You
nah,
get
bro.
what you get, and you don't get
yeah.
upset. You can't say that. So
All
don't dish it out if you
right.
can't take it. It's that
All right.
simple.
I mean,
So
I'm
guys,
not saying that. I'm just saying like I just think that I don't think people should be out here purposely trying to hurt people because they're hurt. They're doing the exact same. It's like, what cycle are you
so
like? You basically perpetuating a cycle.
so this is what I look at with that. And you're right. He's it's a cycle, but this is what I look at. Everyone is hurting. So until they get that realization and
Mm-hmm.
they're healing, you can beat that dead horse 24/7. It's still gonna be dead. So
Right.
what you do is you focus on the ones who are at their point of healing, who don't want to do that anymore. So then those are the ones you try to go win, and then hopefully do get out of his season sooner than later. But
Hopefully
it's like,
sooner.
hopefully sooner, right? But it's like
Yeah.
we can't necessarily beat the dead horse of, well, why would you do this? Okay, well, show this man how to do it then.
Right. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like the lesson is learned better when the person learns it on their own as opposed to somebody teaching it, like basically forcing them to learn it.
There
You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? Like,
But they
There you
gotta
go.
like
learn somehow. Maybe
Right,
that's
right.
them
right,
learning
but
on their
I
own.
feel
Go do
like
that first.
it'll be more genuine if they learn it on their own. You know, the
But how
only
do
thing
they
you're gonna
know?
do is, this
Well,
person goes and does some good guy bad, right? All right, and then this
Mhm.
dude comes in and fakes the funk and does her bad. Now what happens? You just took a person
But
that could possibly be a better person, you know, and made them even worse.
Well,
no,
right.
but
Let me
once again,
stop
I
you
think
right
you're
there.
taking it
You
too
said
literal.
possibly be a better person. They not though, because
Yeah,
they literally have been messing over these men.
right. But at the end of the
So
day,
that's the, you know,
everybody deserves love, and you know, at some point, you're going to meet your match. And my thing is that karma might be that, oh my goodness, you know, if you're say this person actually decides that, you know what, I really like this guy and I'm falling for this guy and I want to be his wife, but the whole time his intentions are to completely poop all over her.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, he draws her in,
not
poops all
literally.
over her. Now you just created, you know, she gave up the bad stuff and maybe she even genuinely was like, you know what, I really feel bad for how I was doing, dude. But then this dude's whole entire intention the entire time was to just completely crush this chick. So
but
now, you know, when that hammer hits,
Dunked on her.
you just made this person even worse.
if he got with
All
her,
part
that
of
means she's currently operating in that thing though. We not saying
right,
Thank you.
he's watched her for
Yeah.
years and then did it. We're
Yeah.
saying he's currently seeing her demasculate men. He's currently seeing her
right,
Yeah.
purposely
right.
use these men. So that's what
I
we're, you
and I
know.
agree.
So
Well,
it's
but
like,
just like you said, that's life. These are learning curves for everybody. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody should be coming in trying to be a teacher of life when you don't even know how life works. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah,
Well,
let
how?
life teach people about life.
But that is
No,
but
life.
we
that
are
What you're
people.
explaining is
We
life.
are
It's not
life.
like they're coming in trying to teach her
yeah.
a lesson, bro.
That's
Like,
exactly what
think
he's
about it.
doing, though.
No, no,
But
he's
that's how
not
you
like,
learn.
ha, I'm doing you dirty because you did this. No, I'm not teaching you. I'm just going to do you dirty. It's up to you to figure it out
Yeah,
because that
yeah,
could be the catalyst for her to change. Him
yeah.
doing her
He
dirty could be
don't
the
care if
catalyst for
she
her to
changes or
change.
not. He don't
Well,
care if she changes or not.
well,
He don't
that's
Right.
care.
what
Exactly, but he's
But
doing
here's
her
my
like that
thing.
that's why
because of that.
You don't
that's why when I brought
you
up the
don't
question,
get
that's why people
positive
learn through
energy by
circumstance.
adding negative energy.
But that's a mindset you got to grow into. Everybody don't come with
Right.
that mindset though.
I agree with
And
that.
and that's why I was saying people learn through circumstances. You're not gonna if you're smart, you're not gonna try to make the same mistake twice.
Right. You know, maybe she is dogging somebody out, but you know,
You know,
every dog has their day. It's the saying
yeah.
goes. I
And
don't
then when
think
you're
And
talking
today was
about,
just her day
and
when
then
she
when
met Buddy.
I mean,
yeah.
so
That's
Yeah.
life, ain't it? That's how life works, right?
Hey, true
so
indeed. True indeed.
it was a bunch of comments going down. So let me scroll back up because I did want to say what child, I gotta scroll all the way up. Okay.
Oh yeah, they going
Yeah,
in.
we got a dig episode
Yeah.
today.
Where's
Hey,
our
they going in.
I wanted to
Oh,
get
and Tim, when he
comments.
said when
She
he
just
said
said
about
something else, but I
going to
wanted
prove on
her
somebody,
first
that's
comment.
extra. You pay extra for that.
And guys, I'm loving y'all comments. Y'all are on point. I can't put everybody's stuff on the screen and
Yeah.
address everybody, but we see y'all.
Salute.
So her first comment said, I think women reject the good guy to keep up with a certain image.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
that's
that may
basically
be
physical
that may be
attraction.
the case.
I want to say they want a certain image of a guy. They because of course life is more exciting with a bad boy, right?
Mm.
You know, life is more exciting with somebody who's good, who just does their job, goes home, does their thing, instead of being out in the streets or whatever. Everybody wants to be excited. Everybody wants to live some exciting kind of lifestyle. Everybody wants to live the kind of lifestyle that you see on social media. You know, they want to be cuddled and loved, and they want to be with somebody who's like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that. Half the time, nobody's really doing all that shit.
I think that's the problem too, Kyle. I really think that's the problem because women want a guy who's a thug, but at the same time owns a Fortune 500 company and who's 6'5", brown skin, curly hair, all the money in the world. When it's not feasible, like, bro, we're not talking about like somebody I could go make an NBA 2K. We're talking about real people. So, like, you're gonna have to give up something to get what you want. No matter how you look at it, like whether it be the looks, like, or their job, like, you can't have somebody who keeps you, like, bro, everybody is happy. You can't have somebody who keeps you on your toes 100%.
Yeah.
So there's got to be some give and take. Like everybody settles.
Everybody,
and maybe
everybody settles.
and maybe the time that you've got, maybe the time that we connected, maybe I wasn't the person I was supposed to be yet. Maybe I'm on my way. You know, that's where patience comes into play. Patience and understanding, I feel like, has to come into play.
Every man has the potential to be a good man. It all determines on the partner that they're with. You know what I'm saying? Do you bring it out of them? Do you make them want to be a better person? You know
so
what I'm
let
saying?
me.
And everybody needs to have realistic standards as well.
Realistic. That's the one right there. I think a lot of us are moving off of unrealistic things, and so a lot of us we hurt our own selves because we are living in a false reality. Let me run through a couple of comments. So P, I think this one was to you. He said,
"Uh-oh."
No, it's not bad. He said, "You're speaking from a place of understanding. Everybody ain't there yet. Hurt people hurt people."
Right. Okay. Yeah, and that could be the case, but I mean, at the end of the day, I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't say like, "Hey, that's crazy. Like, why are you doing that?" You know what I'm saying? Like, stop doing that because it's not helping anything. You're only making the situation worse.
And what I would say to that is that's why it needs to be women who get it and men who get it to go ahead and move in their purpose. Because we can be saying it all day long in a private conversation. It doesn't help the community. You know, so it's like, well, be who you are. You know, you can't always beat into somebody through words, but if you start showing them through action, this is how we act as men, or this is how we act as women. You know, this is how we apologize. This is how we submit. This is how we lead. When we start showing through action, a lot of the waves they gonna catch the wave.
Right. I feel like if you in a situation where you see a chick doing somebody dirty, you got one or two options. You could do the option that dude is saying and treat this chick like crap, or you could just exit the situation because it's like, all right, this chick doesn't deserve a good dude. At least not yet. She's still on that bull. So all right.
Let the relationship vigilante
just like what you said though. Just like what you said, P.
Put the bat signal.
If she's doing somebody dirty, are you gonna step in and let her know? Because if you step in and let her know, if she's doing them dirty, she's probably not gonna be receptive to your comments. She's like,
but because she already knows what she's doing.
Out of it.
Yeah, she already knows what she's doing. So you can either be complicit in it, or you can go tell dude like, hey, she playing you, or you can just move around.
He's not gonna believe it either because he's been getting played, so that's his normal.
Okay, then you just leave that situation alone. You've done your due diligence. I just don't as in the season that I'm in. I think that's stupid. You're only going to create
then the cycle's going to continue. Problem. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
The cycle's going to continue because you're continuing it. People have to grow and learn on their own.
Even if you step in, if he's comfortable being used and he don't know it, and you tell him, people I'm not being used. Like this is our dynamic. Like he might say something like that, and then if you try and step to her because you see her being a user, she's gonna get offended. And be like, get off my face. So what can you do? What can you do? You said you did it.
At that point, that man is not being used though. If that man is telling you, I'm not being used, this is our relationship. How can you as a man tell another man you're being used if that man is telling you no, I'm not?
That's what I'm saying. Like he's being used. You can look at it and be like, she's using him because she has a side dude or whatever.
This is a man. The man is telling you out of his own mouth, I am not being used. Yes, you are. Like it's making no sense, bro.
Maybe
so we look like we finna.
He's a good man.
I don't know, bro.
We're gonna have to talk about this offline.
You ever see Inside the NBA on TNT? I think I'm Kenny and these two are Shaq and Chuck.
Hey, I feel like we can agree to disagree at that. We ain't gonna get no solution right now. So Darrell said, average women act like average guys aren't enough. Then going down to Rosalind's comment, her other comment, she said it's not a lot of good men out here because it's not a lot of good women out here. It's a ping pong game between both sexes to the point not many want to do right by relationships because doing wrong is so common.
I want to get at this one. I want to get at this one.
Okay.
There are a lot of good men out here, and there are a lot of good women out here. The problem isn't the amount of good women and good men. The problem is people are connecting and forcing relationships that they shouldn't be forcing for whatever reason, whether it be a physical attraction or whether it be some sort of financial, benefit to them or whatever. And that creates toxicity. That toxicity will splash everywhere, and just keep
Yeah.
spreading everywhere. I don't think that inherently everybody's bad. I think there's inherently more good women and men out there than people realize. They just keep picking the wrong dudes. Like their equation doesn't match their, So
Yeah. Oh,
Can I go next, Kyle? If you don't mind.
Yeah. Go ahead, because he pretty much summed it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm speaking from experience, like as far as two average people. Because I feel like I'm an average person. Because I'm a regular dude. So I was talking to this girl, and like we would have disagreements from time to time, well, not time to time, but like a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. And then she would make this statement like, I can always find somebody else. I'm sorry, but when you say that, nobody's gonna take her serious. Like this is how I think now. Like nobody would take her serious because you have kids, and I have kids as well. But with that dynamic, and based off of how society moves with the double standards and everything, that's a plus for me because it looks like I can make kids. Like I have nothing wrong with my reproductive system, but you have two kids. It's like it's like the mark of the beast. Like somebody already got you pregnant. Men don't want to take that serious. And it sounds funny, but it's the truth. And then also your average height, for a woman 5'2", 5'3". I'm 6'4". So that's automatically another plus for me. So it's like when you say this, you're making it seem like you're valued higher than me, but at the same time, value doesn't matter. Like that's just arrogance. That's arrogance coming out. If you think you could go get somebody else, go do that. Because I don't need to sit here and take that. Go do that.
But we just had this conversation earlier. I think it was yesterday. We were talking about where there's a lot more simps out here than there are alphas, and that's where we are right now. Women are
but that's not who she's gonna want because she's already looking up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree. But at the end of the day, she can go and get someone else. It might not meet her requirements, but she can go out there and get somebody else, and somebody gonna be right there, ready to pick up her slippers and eat and drink her bath water when she tells them.
She's gonna be even worse off mentally than she was when she was with me because she's not where she wants to be.
You're right, but that's because the women today they're not really focusing on that. They're not really caring about
manipulation that I think Tim mentioned earlier. That goes back to that manipulation thing. If you're with me and we trying to do what we do, why would you tell me you can go get somebody else? Because like he said, well, go get them. And that's what men don't. Men, I witnessed this a lot. Y'all don't be honest like that. Y'all just, well, I'm saying y'all, but the ones that it fit, wear the shoe. The ones that don't, throw it out. But y'all don't be honest like that. Y'all don't tell a woman that, well, go get them. Shit. Y'all
I would. Let a woman tell me something like that. The relationship is officially over at that point. Because what's understood don't need to be explained.
Though, all the time. It's not even a relationship all the time. It's sometimes even in the dating situationship, whatever it is, becomes exclusive. I see women say this, and it's like the man, like, well, no, I ain't saying that. What I'm saying it. No, don't explain it.
I feel like
tell her to go find him. Then
this is my theory. This is my theory behind that. I think the reason why is because women are the sought after sex majority of the time, right?
Yeah.
So you have the option to pick and choose. I want A, I want B, I want C, I want D. For guys, because we're the ones chasing, for the guy who's I didn't say all that. That might have been his best option. That might have been his best option. The pick of the litter after that is slim. It's slim. You might get somebody, she might be perfect for him. The next person, my eyes might be too far apart. The other person, the other person mentally sums off. That's my best shot at having somebody who I envision and who I want. Other than that, I gotta do what I can to appease this person in order to keep them to stay around because this person elevates me supposedly.
So the viewer said you are frozen. I mean, the audio is still going, so just keep doing your thing. But this will be the last one. But Roslyn said just doing the statistics that we probably know more bad relationships than we do good ones. And that's where her comment is coming from. And yeah, and it's because I feel like most of the bad is broadcast. The ones who are good and really in love, they don't care about broadcasting it to y'all. They living a happy life. So
Right.
I feel like that's why we don't see too many good relationships, because they don't really care to broadcast it. Hopefully that'll change, because I think we do need to start seeing some of those. But we are going to go ahead and close out. So as we close out, guys, remember to go follow them. Links in the caption.
At the Platty Pack.
As we close out, I want each three of y'all to give your last words of wisdom to the viewers.
All right.
Anybody want to go first?
Go first.
I go first. He says last words of wisdom.
Yeah.
When it comes to women, understand that they are emotional creatures. So you have to proceed with that in mind, okay? Everything needs to be emotional. Emotions need to be put at the forefront of everything that you do. When you're dealing with men, understand that we are logical creatures. So everything that you do has to be of a logical nature. If you bring in something to them, it needs to make sense. If they are of sound mind. You got some men out here who are a little bit broken, man. And that's why we here to fix them. Go follow us at the Platty Pack. 9th one is the sound.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just getting my thoughts together right now.
All right. Well, my parting words are, man, hey, just because you take a lot of losses in life doesn't mean that you're a loser. You're just learning to win. It's just learning how to win.
That part.
Shout out to, hey, thanks for tuning in and supporting us. And hey, thank you. This is we just started off, and this has been a wild ride, and I love it so far.
So before we go to Tim, y'all Instagram person gonna get y'all, because y'all didn't even ask his question.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, you right. My bad, Efren. We will address your question on our next live. My bad, bro.
Was it related to this topic?
Yeah, the question was basically something along the lines of what's the difference between a good man and a man who provides.
A good provider, he said. A good man.
Yeah, and just because you're a good provider doesn't necessarily mean you're a good man.
You just fulfill the duty.
Like I was talking to y'all, you could come home and provide all the bills paid, new cars out in the garage, fridge full of food, and you just beating on your wife.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Just because
that don't mean you a good man, because you're terrible. You're terrible.
You're a horrible piece of shit.
Yeah.
Just because you're a good provider, you just fulfill the duty.
Right. Just because you're a good man doesn't necessarily mean you're a good provider. But if I had to choose, me personally, I'm not looking, but if I had to choose between the two, I would probably try to pick the good person, because at the end of the day, you can provide for yourself. But not everybody gonna treat you the way you want to be treated. So, you gotta just determine what's a priority for you, and then you go from there.
Yes, sir.
And Tim, did you got any last words of wisdom?
Yeah, I got a few.
Okay.
And this is for like all people, not just men, not just men, but it's for everybody, like including women. Value yourself over your situation, because I'm not saying if something goes wrong in the situation, just leave. But you have to know, if you're continuously being hurt, you have to live with you. So if it's not conducive to your well-being, do what's best for you and explain that. Make sure you communicate that with your partner. Next, never negotiate your non-negotiables. Because if you have things you just won't stand for, and somebody is tampering with them, don't ever go back on what you believe in. Because once you do that, your word is now void. So you have to never negotiate your non-negotiables. And the last thing, always be open. Things are subject to change. And being open helps the relationship, because you're showing you're willing to listen, you're willing to cooperate. Anything, it just helps work. In a business, when they need new ideas, they have a whole bunch of people come in and they give their input. Nothing is just we're not listening to that. They weigh it out. If it doesn't sound conducive to what the vision is, they get rid of it, but they're always open to it. So always remain open.
Bang. Bing bong.
Okay, guys, we are about to close out. Just remember, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all got blessed with these three guys' words throughout the panel. So go ahead and go follow them. Their link is in the caption. Anybody that can't be through from their end, follow me. My link is in the caption as well.
Hey, we appreciate this. I appreciate the opportunity.
Definitely. Thank you for having
like,
us.
we can't thank you enough. But I fucks with you. I rocks with you. So
the only thing I want to leave y'all with, I say it all the time for those who follow me, it's time to heal. It's time to unlearn and relearn, so we can have healthy relationships, intimate and platonic ones.
All right now.